Do this now if you constantly feel like people are making fun of you and judging you behind your back. Thing is, in today's times, I've never seen more people, especially dudes, so reactive in my life. Just so triggered, so unhinged. Whenever somebody says something derogatory about them or something that they interpret as making fun of them, even though many times it might not be meant that way, and they just take it the wrong way. I've been in this situation a number of times where somebody took something I said the wrong way, and then, what? Right? Where this never happened before, at least not to the degree that I see it these days. So if you are constantly sinking into your head, especially in social situations where you feel people are constantly just yapping behind your back in a negative tone or a negative manner, let me explain the core of your issue. Okay, so let's get to the core of this first of all so we can fix this. So the core of your issue, first of all, okay, the reason you're feeling this, the reason why you're constantly going in your head and you're getting aggravated by people around you who you feel are not being nice to you, the core of this is you have a tendency, you have a habit, and I've seen this with all people across the board who easily get triggered or who are reactive or constantly feel like people are judging and making fun of them. At the core of it, you give people way more credit than you give yourself. Okay, so this is the core of the issue, first of all, right? You have this tendency to give other people more credit than they deserve and not give yourself enough credit. Okay, and here's the problem with, say, trolls, for example, right? If you feel like people are constantly trolling you or hating on you or trying to get a reaction out of you. The problem with these people, like trolls and just people who are constantly in that predatory jackal mode where they're constantly like looking to mess with people and put people inside their heads. The problem with these people, AMOGs also, the problem with these people are they give themselves way too much credit and don't give other people enough credit. So it's the reverse, right? And this kind of gives them this false sense of confidence. Right? A confidence that really they didn't earn, really that they didn't deserve. And this is why, you know, the reason I don't go into my head, the reason I'm not reactive anymore, the reason I could stay icy in crazy ass situations, even if somebody is trolling me, whether online or offline, is because I look at the facts, right? I'm not going to be dishonest with myself and tell myself I'm like any better or any less than I am. I just go, hey, look at the scoreboard, right? I'm winning. Look at the scoreboard, bitch. I actually did a video on that. I haven't uploaded yet, but that's what's going through my head. Like, dude, check the scoreboard. I'm clearly kicking your ass. So that is the core of your issue, first of all, right? You just tend to give other people way too much credit that they don't deserve, and you don't give yourself enough credit that you do deserve. Okay? And anybody who is actually trolling you or actually trying to get a rise out of you, you'll notice this common theme with them as well. They give themselves way too much credit, very undeserved credit, and other people not enough credit. You know, and this is a common theme with like the AMOGs of the world, for example, or the, as we call them on this channel, the cunts of the world that are constantly out there just looking for targets to feed off of, right? They're almost like vampires. They feed off your insecurities. They feed off of you just like flipping out, right? They kind of just get that's how they get their high. This is why we call it a 2-second dirty high. They get this 2-second dirty high off of, you know, no different than a leech, you know, basically leeching off of people's low self-esteem. So this is what I want you to understand, first of all, when and why you're going inside your head and the source of where it's coming from. And we've talked about this before on this channel. I mean, again, you know, these people are definitely nobody to be threatened by, nobody that, you know, that would deserve you giving your power over to. Okay, they're just essentially, like I said, leeches, parasites that are needing their dirty high in order to feel good about themselves for a few seconds. You feel me? At the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, is my frame so weak and so fragile that I have to outsource it to the outside world? Why do I not trust why do I not have trust in my own faculties? Okay, why do I need to rely on strangers, people who don't even know me, or even people who do know me that don't like me? Why do I have to rely on their opinion versus trusting myself? Right, and you see this common theme with, say, like the woke mob, feminists, purple hair feminists, SJWs, right? The people who are all about like the gender pronouns and all this. Why do you constantly see these videos on YouTube of them just flipping out and losing it, right? And just having these meltdowns? It's because they don't have trust in their own faculties, right? They need validation from the outside world. This is why they have to infringe on your space, your personal liberty, your personal thoughts, your personal ideas, your personal values. They have to infringe on that and almost like force you to accept theirs, because they themselves don't have trust in their own faculties. They need to outsource that to the world, right? It's very weak. They need external validation constantly. They need to constantly be told, I'm good enough, I'm a great person, just tell me how wonderful I am. They need to constantly hear that because their frame is so weak. Their reality is so weak. And it's really, I almost feel like they're just cursed. They're doomed to live out this really pathetic, low-level existence of constantly needing other people's approval, right, and validation in order to feel good about themselves. And one thing I teach my pickup students, especially guys that are socially awkward or new to cold approach, or they just don't have a lot of social skills and they're constantly going inside their head. One of the big lessons we teach in pickup is you are enough, right? Sure, you're not going to be, we all have things to work on about ourselves. None of us are perfect. Only God is perfect, right? You have to accept that. You're never going to be perfect. You probably suck at a lot of things, right? But there are also things that you're probably good at, like any other human being on the planet, right? We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. The problem with like people who constantly feel like they're being judged and constantly going inside their head and constantly needing approval from the outside world is they don't feel like they are enough, right? And even if you do give them all the recognition, the validation, and the accolades in the world, they're still not going to feel like they're enough. It's not going to make any difference, right? You see the corporate media right now trying to force this on everybody else, like the gender pronouns and the drag shows and trannies and all this. And it's like, oh, we need to, make them feel included, and it's about inclusiveness. And it's like you could give them all of that and everything in the world, but it's not going to fix the fact that they don't feel like they're enough. That's something that needs to come from inside. And this goes for everybody, right? This goes for everybody. I mean, there's some deep self-improvement that they, need to engage in, that, they don't have a right to put that responsibility on all of us to carry the heavy load because they're insecure, because they have low self-esteem, because they don't think they are enough, right? That is a you problem, not a me problem, right? But for you guys watching, this is where a lot of it is coming from. You don't feel like you are enough, right? And again, going back to what I said, we all have things to work on. But being present to the moment and feeling you are enough at this time, at this point in place, and you are working on yourself, you are trying to get better, that should be enough, right? I mean, if you're just sitting back And this is the funny thing, it's like people who hate on you, people who are just like, you know, just the cunts of the world that we talk about, the amogs, the trolls, these people constantly believe that they are enough and then some. I mean, they just have this really delusional level of self-confidence that you kind of have to tap into a little bit, right? They have an unhealthy level of self-confidence. You have to tap into a more stable level of self-confidence, because as much as you like trolls and predatory jackals of the world seem like they're just totally confident and they're, you know, they can do no wrong and they totally believe in themselves. These are the same type of people that cry at night. They have a lot of feelings of depression oftentimes. They tend to be nihilistic many times and have a lot of issues mentally, right? They're just not, you know, they're just not happy people. They're just not happy people, like deep down inside, right? Even though they have their moments of just getting this dirty high off of, you know, actually like picking on people. Deep down, they do cry, they feel depressed, they feel down, and they can't figure out why. And it's like, maybe because you're like a piece of shit to your fellow human beings. Maybe you should try to be a better person. But I'm not here to help them, I'm here to help you, right? So that is the thing you have to understand about why you constantly go inside your head, why you feel like people are, you know, constantly like trolling you or making fun of you, you know. And I've always said, you know, because you'll hear a lot of these like self-development coaches going, no, everyone's just too busy focusing on themselves. They're not saying anything about you. That's a lie. That's not true, because half of the time they actually are, right? Half of the time you might just be walking through a restaurant and, you know, people are just watching you and judging you. Right? That's just human nature. I mean, people like to people watch. So they're going to sit there, they might judge your jacket, your hair, you know, your height, your weight. They might judge you on whatever it is, again, to get that little 2-second dirty high and make themselves feel better. And you know, I try to do my best not to judge anyone. I mean, even like these SJWs and purple hair feminists, I try to understand where they're coming from and why they're so fragile, why their reality is dependent on other people's opinions of them and need for approval. You know, why their frame is so weak. I do try to understand them, and I try not to judge them. I mean, this is what makes me a really good debater. I haven't not lost a debate. I don't think I've lost a debate ever, really, because I usually stick to the facts and I don't let, you know, anybody's personal attacks or ad hominems, you know, or name calling get inside my head, right? I just stick to the facts. So it will help if you also don't judge people. You know, if you don't want to be judged, you should not be out there judging people, right? I mean, according to the Bible, we should not be judging people regardless. So I try not to judge anyone. Even if I like see a homeless guy walking down the street, I mean, I can imagine how he became homeless, but I don't know, right? So I don't want to sit there and judge. But you'll find that people who do try to mess with you, try to like bully you or make fun of you and get inside your head, they are usually doing it from a place of where they themselves need you, right? They actually need you in order to feel like their life has meaning. And it's really sad, it's really pathetic. But I mean, that is really at the core of why you're feeling this way, why you're feeling like people are constantly judging, make fun of you. You know, you have to get to the root of the problem. Like, who is doing this? And I've told you guys in a number of videos, you have to look at the source, right? It's not like it's a bunch of high value males or, you know, high value people who are like, look at him or look at her. You know, it's not those people who are doing that. It's usually these low level cockroaches, no offense to cockroaches, that are just getting this dirty high off of other people's insecurities or low self-esteem, right? I mean, it happens to me. I go out all the time. I mean, obviously, the more you go out, the more you're gonna witness this, the more you're gonna experience this, right? I go out all the time, take guys on boot camp, do cold approach, and I'm constantly in these situations. And I'm a great target too, because I walk in these venues. I don't peacock as much as I used to, but I still do peacock. Like, I will walk in there with my flame leather boots. I mean, I've got my earrings in, I've got like crazy gear, because I want to bring the attention to myself, right? And this is just, not to go into a pickup lesson, but once people see that you're not reactive and you're not going inside your head, they actually have automatic respect for you. Like, wow, this dude is like super cool. And I've gotten that a number of times. Like, dude, I was about to rip on you about those boots, or that big belt buckle you're wearing, or that crazy jacket, or those crazy sunglasses, but you're actually pretty cool, man. Can we chill? Can we hang? I'm like, yeah, let's go, right? A lot of it is just a big shit test, right? That's really what it is. But I love walking into these venues and bringing all the attention to myself. And so, of course, I'm going to get AMOGs. I'm going to get a lot of women even who are going to try to test me. And they're like, can he really pull off that gear? Oh, what is he trying to do? And I've had girls say things like, oh, it's kind of like walking in here with like a red clown suit. Why did you just do that? And like, what does that have to do with my clothes, girl? Why are you hating on me? I mean, once they see that it's not affecting me in the way they think it would, where I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, you're right, let me get out of here. They would laugh, right? If you just ran out, like, ha ha ha, we were right, ha ha ha. But when you stand your ground and they see that, okay, this guy can't be shaken, then they realize like, there's something solid about this guy, right? This guy feels like he is enough. This guy has trust in his own faculties. And that becomes very attractive to not just women, but anybody in that, anybody in that vicinity. They could see like, oh, this dude is a man. All right. So I'm going to cut it here. As always, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything I might have missed, anything you would like to share, anything you'd like to add, drop them in the comments below. Right? If this coaching video has added value to your life, make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and smash that notification bell as well. Right? Smash all three for me. And if you guys are loving this value and loving the content, best way to support my work is to become a premium subscriber, my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I'm hosting on a separate platform. Right now it's only $1 for the entire first month of premium AlphaMaleSecrets content from me. Right? You won't find here on my channel, on my regular channel. So take advantage of it. Just click the link below. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. Just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.